Welcome back, folks. Today's video is really different than anything we've done before. I took the phone, along on our rifle season. And, you know, every video we do, we try to explain processes, products, trying to get you folks to have the best success at growing your food plots as possible. We try to clear up the air on a lot of bad information, try to bring you the best chance of success, help you all, whether you're a Northwoods customer or not. But this video was kind of a fun video. I took the camera along when we went rifle hunting this year. You know, rifle season here in upper Michigan, it's kind of like a holiday. You know, it always starts on November 15th. I really didn't want to do this bow hunting because, I don't have a fancy cameraman. I don't have all this fancy equipment. I'm doing this on an iPhone. And I really didn't want a chance at spooking deer. I filmed a couple, but it just, I'm hunting. I'm not trying to film. But being in box blinds for most of the rifle season, you can kind of get away with some movement. But what I wanted to do was show our strategies, what we're trying to do, how our food plots work with how we were hunting. We saw some good deer for upper Michigan. Nobody really, if you think about it, nobody's coming upper Michigan. The big filming stars, the hunting stars aren't coming up here to film hunts, folks. We've got a decimated deer herd up here. Honestly, a 2-year-old deer is a good deer up here, but we're targeting some 3-year-olds. Thankfully, opening day, one of our partners, one of our neighbors got the target buck in the area. We were real happy about that. But yeah, we just wanted to bring the camera along and show you folks, maybe who've never been up in a big wood setting, what we're dealing with. And you can appreciate, if you're in one of those quote unquote big buck states and you never really got up here, you can kind of appreciate what we're dealing with up here. But I just thought it would be a fun video. We do have some strategy to it. But one of the things, we didn't hunt much this year. And for good reason, especially if you're a parent, you can appreciate the situation we were fortunate to be in. We'll be covering that at the end of the video. This was probably the first year, I can't remember the last time I went without shooting a deer. Didn't really care. My daughter Carly got on the board early in youth season across the street. She got a beautiful velvet 8-point buck for her first deer. And then the season got real busy with some sports and things. And again, if you're a parent, especially a sports parent, you can appreciate the situation we got into at the end of the year. It was a dream come true for myself, my son. One of our workers also, their football team made it to the state championship. And in that process, it took up a lot of our weekend hunting. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. So hope you enjoy this video, folks. It's not something we do normally, but just wanted to share our 2023 rifle season with you.
Alright, so it's opening morning in Michigan. I'm not going to talk very loud. We just had a deer walk through. And what we're doing is we're sitting on a downwind side of a hinge cut area. And we've got a couple of little food plots in here. This is a food plot right here, fall forage sandy soil. And then there's a hollow here in front of us. You can see the green ribbon. It's a travel corridor that walks out to this big food plot over here in front of us. That's about a 2-acre fall forage sandy soil food plot. And like I said, we're on the downwind side of a bedding area right now, a hinge cut bedding area, which is going to be back in here about 100 yards. So I got rubs and scrapes everywhere. We just had our first buck come through. 6-pointer actually came downwind of us. Now, I don't use it very often, but I have an Ozonics running right now. I'm not going to argue whether they work or not. I believe there's some use to them, but the reason I'm running one today is because although we try to keep the movement in front of us, we're looking west right now and we've got a west wind. I've got probably 1.5 miles to the nearest road that way. We've got 1.5 miles that way to the nearest road. We've got 1 mile to the north to the nearest road. But behind us, where we came in, and that's where this deer came from, we've got probably a mile. So although I don't like using ozone machine, I don't use it a lot in this particular setup because we're in a tent. We're not in one of our scent-proof blinds. We just use it today because in this big woods setting, the deer can come from anywhere. Literally can come from anywhere. So the buck that was just through here came from behind us downwind, and then we had a doe and a fawn walk through, and they ended up walking right almost underneath the blind and walked right behind us downwind. So thankfully she got a little nervous, but she didn't snort or run off. But again, I don't use it a lot, but this particular stand, we do use it just because here on this particular piece of property, the deer can literally come from anywhere, but we try to keep the movement in front of us. So not a bad morning, but deer are definitely moving. It's about 9:30 and we've already seen 4, so would expect this afternoon to pick up. Hope everybody's having a great opening day here in Michigan. Alright, we had to make a switch because the wind shifted drastically. It was west this morning, and now it's southeast, and that was just absolutely a no-go for that stand we were just in. So right now we're sitting on the north side of the property with the southeast wind blowing, and what we have here is Milo. We've got fall forage sandy soil, and out here, that's the plot that we were looking at. Off to our right, as we were looking at the blind, we can still see it. Now this is all bedding right here. There's bedding out here. There's a huge bedding pocket right on the other side of these trees. That's why I'm just about whispering, because I know there's deer in there. We got water, we got more fall forage sandy soil here. So you can actually see right in here how the sun's in the way, but you can see how the plot kind of wraps into the woods back here. So this kind of creates a little bit of a funnel effect. They still have cover right through here. We can walking right through here, pop out, and then just keep going through here. So we might get some deer on camera, but if they're moving, I'm not grabbing the phone. So I expect to see a bunch more this afternoon. I think we've seen 11 so far today, so it's been a great opening day. A bit warm, but yeah, we had a massive wind change at about 1 o'clock, so we had to get out of that stand. Hope everybody's having a great day.
It wasn't a bad season. We saw some decent deer. We saw some 2-year-olds. Nothing that we really wanted to harvest. Yeah, again, we're in Upper Michigan. Not really any place someone is going to come try to film hunting giant deer like maybe Iowa or Illinois. But you folks in some big buck states that maybe have never been up here or into a big woods setting can kind of appreciate what we're dealing with up here. But, like I said, we probably hunted half as much as we usually do, and for good reason. It was unfortunate in the fact that my son, my hunting partner Nathan, didn't even buy a license this year because he was so busy with his football team. And honestly, it was a dream come true to watch these young men chase their dream.
So the first week in the deer season found us in Gaylord, Michigan, playing against a very talented North Muskegon football team where Menominee came out on top 32-21. And the week leading up to heading to Detroit was very busy with fundraising and travel plans, but it was unbelievable and a dream come true to watch both Nathan and Tanner, two of our workers, playing on Ford Field with their teammates. Unfortunately, Menominee came up 5 points short of a state championship, but what a dream come true for both us as parents and these young men.
So the boys came up a little bit short with their dreams of a state championship in football, but wouldn't trade it for the world. What an experience, what a run for this football team. My son Nathan, number 2, and his friend Tanner, number 9. Those young men both work for us. So if you've ever bought a 50-pound bag of seed from us, odds are those guys put it in a box for you and got it in your hands. So can't thank them enough. They're great workers, great young men, and it was a fun season, both football and deer season. Like I said before, this is something really different than anything we've done before, and I hope you enjoyed it, folks, and we'll see you in a few days.